Hey guys, welcome to my conversation with your South Carolina three-time state champion from Eastside, George Maholtz. George, how's it sound to say three-time? Is it really any different than two or one? What do you think?
For me personally, three sounds just a little bit better because both my brothers before me were two-timers, so that third really got the bragging rights in my house towards me. So three sounds just a little bit better than the two.
I get that. I get that. That makes sense to me. Um, did you text them right afterwards to let them know that you'd now passed them up?
Thankfully for me, my brothers are great. They were actually on beside the mat, and my one brother was sitting by the corner because he helps coach at our school. So that was good to have them there supporting me, knowing that in my mind, once I got off the mat, I was able to brag a little bit on that.
Very cool. That's awesome. Well, we're going to talk about earning three state titles and all the other things. But before we do that, let's go off the mat and just kind of let people know a little bit about you. Is that cool? Did you hear me?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Cool.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Cool. All right. So, after weigh-in food, do you have an after weigh-in food that you go to?
Oh, oh, that's a great question. Depending on the type of weight cut I had, for me, normally I've always loved a good type of pasta.
Okay.
Just a lot of carbs, pushing it heavy. So any type of pasta really is. I like spaghetti. That's always a good one with a lot of water.
Okay. All right. And you mentioned the weight cut because in the state, you may not cut a bunch of weight, but you go to Beast or you go to some of these other big events, you might cut a little bit of weight. Is there food that you kind of missed when you were doing a little bit of cutting?
Oh, I would on the unhealthier side of things, I would definitely say one I've loved is Cheez-Its. Cheez-Its would be a big one that I kind of missed a good bit on some of those cuts.
Let's go with yes or no. Sushi? Yes? No.
Oh no, no, no.
No,
Not
down.
not a big sushi guy.
Not a big sushi guy. All right. How about roller coasters? Yes? No.
Oh yeah. Love roller coasters.
Love roller coasters. Okay. If I gave you a time machine, would you go to the future or the past first?
Oh. I would have to say the past.
Okay. Where? When?
For me, I would have to say during pretty much any war. I'm interested seeing like how stuff worked in like the government during like times like that and just see how the world used to run.
You're not the first to say that. Um, any particular, I mean, if we went back, we're we talking about like Roman wars in history, or are we talking about like World War II type, George?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like the Roman Empire.
The Roman Empire?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah, the Roman Empire would definitely be the one.
All right. So if I gave you a chance to go to space, would you do it?
Oh, I don't know about all that. That's kind of out of my realm.
So that's not something you're interested in doing.
No, no, I like the earth. I like being on solid ground.
I get that. All right. If you could go anywhere in the world, where are we going?
Ooh, anywhere in the world? Probably Italy.
Italy. Do we know
Italy.
why Italy?
Oh, simply the food.
The food.
Italian food is my thing. I love it.
Okay. All right. Is there a favorite Italian dish?
Lasagna.
Lasagna.
Homemade lasagna made the right way is unbeatable.
Okay. All right. All right. So, what flavor of ice cream?
Ooh, cookies and cream. Yes,
Cookies
sir.
and cream.
Cookies and cream.
Okay. All right. I got you. All right. So, before we go on the mat, were you listening to music? Do you listen to music before you work out or before you wrestle?
So it really depends. Are we talking like right before I'm going out, or I got like 30 minutes in between matches?
That's a good question. So,
Because
30 minutes in between matches, you're saying yes?
30 minutes before matches, yeah, I'm going with a yeah. I'm listening towards like country music, just kind of keep it calm, keep it relaxed. But right before the match, rap, just to get my mindset going of just ready to get out on the mat and get going.
So the mindset is relax for a period of time and then get hyped up before you go.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Cool. I get that.
Oh yeah.
You mentioned your brothers before. How much did they play a role in Little George wrestling?
Oh God, just being able to look up to them as being like, okay, that was the bar that they had set for me to reach and hopefully surpass. And just being able to watch them from when I was a little kid, taking the best that they did in their wrestling, kind of incorporating it into my own. I use a lot of what they used to.
Yeah. So, do you remember your first ever practice or your first ever match?
Oh, going back some ways. I do. I do remember my first ever like competition match. I was probably 3 or 4 years old, and my parents had put me in the bracket just to have some fun. And I wrestled what would come to be one of my future really good friends.
Oh, really? Who?
That would be Will Hendricks.
Will Hendricks. And how
Yes,
did that
sir.
match play out with Will?
I think we actually ended up both on our backs with our arms around each other, just laying there. Yeah, we actually recreated it when he was a senior last year. We recreated it at the state tournament just for a little nostalgia.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. That's cool. That's cool. All right. So, what piece of advice have you gotten from your dad or your brothers that has been helpful in wrestling?
For me, it would be the knowing that you belong, knowing that because that's a big one is knowing that you put in all the work, that you have the talent and full capabilities to be one of the best in the country. So just the realizing and knowing that you belong with the top of the top.
That's cool. Yeah. All right. So let's go to winning the first one. I know you said winning the third one was important because you passed your brothers. Can you compare the feelings of winning the first one with the third one?
Yeah, there's a little bit of switch there in between because the first one was just a full rush of emotions, like, oh my God, I can't believe I actually did it. And all that hard work I put into it, it paid off. Whereas the third one, it's weird to say, but it's kind of like a relief. The okay, got it. Enjoy the moment when I'm on the mat. But funny, the first thing I told both of my coaches and my mom when I got up there was time to start working for the next one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's a little bit of switch.
Do you feel pressure? Do you feel pressure? So let me ask you. Actually, let's go with this. Is there more pressure to win in the state because it's expected, or do you feel more pressure at a big tournament outside the state?
I would say more pressure inside the state for because at least for us, it seems like there's kind of like a target on us. So the more pressure in the state because we're looked at as some of the top in the state, whereas outside of the state, I can just be myself and kind of wrestle my match.
So what I'm glad you brought that up because for me, Eastside is a standard that I mean, I'm sure you guys talk about it in the state if it being a standard. Um how what how is the culture what is the culture like that sets that standard? What is it about Eastside that makes it different?
Oh God. I would say it starts before we get into the actual high school room for us. For us, it starts out in the youth. We are kind of born into sort of a family at Eastside Wrestling. We're kind of taught from a very young age that this is the expectation when you get to high school and that nothing below the expectation will be accepted. So you really got to raise your standards up to where the guys back from the first state title had their standards at. So not much we try to change from the first to now. It just all starts off in that youth program of getting the mindset right from a young age.
So how do you have the conversation with because you I mean I know a lot of you start wrestling when you're little and that sort of thing, like you just said, but you also have some that come in a little bit later, I'm sure, in the process. How do you kind of talk to them about what the expectations are?
Well, for us, we try to keep the kids that come in that have never really tried it. We try to keep them on, but we don't change our standards for the new kids coming in because we believe that tradition's a big thing for us and the standards that we have set for ourselves throughout the years is what sets a winning mentality. And our coaches believe it sets a good standard for not just wrestlers, but for us as people of learning hard work, learning what it takes to get to that extra step to become successful.
Very cool. All right. So, last question I have for you is the same last question I ask everybody, and that is, why is wrestling special?
Oh God. For me, it's a way of life, honestly. A lot of the friendships that I have and a lot of the people that I don't look at as friends anymore, but more as like a brotherhood, come from wrestling. So for me, it's just all about what I've learned and what I've become because of wrestling. I believe I've become a better person due to what I've learned throughout wrestling and to know what it takes to become a wrestler.
Very cool. I said that was the last question, but I got one more for you, and that is, you're getting ready to make a run for number 4. Are we I'm not I don't want to talk about a run to the fourth necessarily, but I want you to look beyond that. Are you looking to wrestle in college? Are you interested in kind of in the future?
Oh yeah, I've made it such a way of life for myself that I couldn't honestly see not wrestling in college and in the future being a thing at all. So I'm definitely looking into the college aspect of it.
Any particular place?
I'm really trying to keep it open as of right now, keep a wide mindset of I just want to find the right place for me to find the next 5 years of my college career.
Very cool. Well, first I want to say congratulations on a third title.
Thank you, thank you.
Good. Congratulations on passing your brothers. I want to wish you the best of luck in the future, and I'll see you around. We talk all the time, man. You take care, okay?
Yes, you
All right.
too.
Take care.
Bye.